although there are a lot of Marines in addition to these Vikings, which are going to be in the mix here as well. And it looks like these Vikings are going to go down pretty quickly for Gemini. So only managing to take out one Marine, Gemini loses 3 Vikings, which is a pretty big hit considering he is already behind because of not having that extra expansion up. Although it does look like he has 3 tanks on the ledge here, so going to be pretty well defended, and he is putting up his own command center right now. And actually 2 Week, having great sense, scans right at the entrance just after that's built, and he is going to see exactly what Gemini is trying to do before he even is able to do it. But the Vikings for 2 Week moving out across the map and doing as much scouting as possible, making sure that there is no hidden expansions that he is not aware of or hidden tech or anything like that. And at this point, there is just a huge lead for 2 Week in the economy. He has more than doubled, well, almost more than doubled the economy of Gemini at this point. So Gemini could be in a very, very bad spot here if he does not do something soon to catch himself back up. And it looks like the Marines and tanks moving out now for 2 Week. He is going to try to put some pressure on the front door of Gemini, and once Gemini defends this, if he is able to, it would probably be a good idea for him to move out on the map and try to do some damage if he manages to hold this off without any problems. And it looks like the Vikings going to come up here and try to give these tanks and Marines visions up on the cliff here, because once they get in here, it's going to be very difficult for them to take on these tanks. And it looks like 2 Week doing a great job of keeping all of his tanks and Marines right against the edge here so that they can get through here without getting hit by the tank fire from these siege tanks. And it looks like 2 Week sieging up outside of his opponent's base. Five Vikings here for Gemini, nearly loses one to the combined fire of these 3 Vikings from 2 Week. And 2 Week is actually throwing up another expansion, so going for a very, very economic build. And I'm sorry, it looks like we've got another lag spike here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but it looks like 2 Week and one of his buddies that are spectating this game seem to be the cause of these lag issues. But anyways, right now it looks like we need to get this resolved. But as far as the game goes, we've got a very, very economic based build from 2 Week right now. So if Gemini is not able to do something significant to move out on the map and take out some of these expansions, then we could see some issues for Gemini here moving forward. And as the lag is now going away, but oh no, I'm sorry, it is back now and it's somebody else. So definitely some issues right now. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. Okay, Bob has left the game, so he may have been causing the lag issues, as the lag did go away once he left. So we'll see what happens here. Right now we do have a siege set up outside of Gemini's base. 2 Week has a lot of Marines and siege tanks, although Gemini has a decent amount of siege tanks and infantry himself, along with it looks like 6 or 7 Vikings right now. So a pretty good sized force, although he's going to need to deal with this sooner than later if he wants to move out on the map, unless he wants to take out the destructible rocks on his back entrance, which looks like 2 Week just scanned it to see if that is indeed what he's trying to do, which these Vikings are moving over here right now, possibly going to try to do just that. No, I'm sorry, they're going to move out and go ahead and keep moving across the map here and try to do a little bit of scanning. Although they see that there's no expansion down there, possibly going to go scan and scout out the rest of the bases on the map to see what's going on. And it looks like Gemini is actually pretty high on the amount of resources he has right now. He is definitely going to want to start spending some of that money if he wants to stay in this game, because again, he is going to need an army to move out on the map and take on some of this stuff. Looks like he is able to focus fire down the Vikings from 2 Week in that sieged up position, so basically only siege tanks and Marines at this point there. And it looks like we are going to see Gemini move his army out, as he did lower his supply depots here. So we are going to see, puts his Vikings into assault mode, but loses all of them pretty quickly here, and tries to move out with his Marauders to take down these tanks. It looks like these tanks are going to go down, but there are a decent amount of Marines here to finish cleaning up these Marauders. And the 6 Marauders remain right now. There are more SCVs coming, but I'm not sure exactly what those SCVs are going to do. And 5 tanks moving out. from Gemini right now. So it looks like he is going to take down the rest of this force and does not lose any of his tanks yet, although one of them did take a significant amount of damage. He is going to need to do some offensive maneuvering here if he wants to stay in this game, because once again, there is another expansion out for Black Rose already, and he has been mining at his natural expansion for quite a while now. So there is definitely a big economic advantage in favor of 2 Week right now. So 2 Week continuing to macro up. It looks like he's going to stick with these tanks and Vikings for the time being, along with some Marines, although he is starting to get some medevacs in the mix as well, which are absolutely great for his infantry army. Unfortunately for him, he does not actually have a whole lot of infantry right now. Only 6 Marines currently at his base, and it looks like Gemini is moving out to try to take this army on, although there are way more tanks for 2 Week right now than for Gemini, so he does wisely back off of that and decides not to take that on. And it looks like he's going to siege up in the middle of the map here and try to play a little bit of the defensive position, although at this point I believe he's still unaware. Yeah, he does not see, actually, wow, he does not see any of the expansions for 2 Week right now. I gotta think that he assumes that one of these expansions has been taken. He probably is assuming at this point that 2 Week has expanded to his natural, but of course he is in the dark completely about the expansion up here at the 12 o'clock position. So that is definitely going to be the dirty little secret for 2 Week right now, and Gemini probably feeling like he's actually not in too bad a shape, while little does he know that he is being way out harvested right now by 2 Week. And it looks like we've got some medevacs moving in here with some siege tanks and some infantry here. We're going to see a drop in the back, it looks like, from 2 Week on Gemini's mineral line, which Gemini has absolutely nothing defending the back of his base right now. He does have a few tanks and a Vikings out at the front of his base, but by the time those get back and respond, there would be a significant amount of damage inflicted on his mineral line before he is able to actually clean that up. And it actually looks like he is going to be moving these units out, so won't have absolutely anything nearby to take care of this. And these tanks are going to come down and just start wreaking havoc on his base. Gemini immediately pulls off all of his SUVs and sends them down to his expansion. And it looks like this little force of siege tanks and the Marines is going to clean this up pretty quickly. Although some Vikings moving in right now, taking down the medevacs first, and then it looks like we are going to see them trying to drop on top of the siege tanks to take those on. But those Marines able to do a lot of damage before those Vikings even land, which were able to take out all of those Vikings before they were able to really do any damage against these tanks at all. And it looks like the orbital command even going to go down. Gemini making a sad face there, it looks like. So he is aware that he is in bad shape. And of course he is down 1 base to 3 bases, and he is going to say that's GG. So the first game going to 2 Week because Gemini was not able to keep up with the macro of 2 Week. So we're going to move on to game 2 now, and GG.